Hey y'all, greetings from the crazy Asian cowboy shotgun bearing Bible thumping geek. Sorry, it's been a while since my last video. Thought I'd open with the Bible and a shotgun. It's good stuff. If you like Bibles and shotguns anyway. If you don't, I would apologize, but I like Bibles and shotguns. Anyway, somebody had said to me in a chat room thing somewhere that the free markets have failed, that capitalism had collapsed into ruins, that it has failed. And they pointed out, look at the banks, look at the insurance companies, look at the medical industry and stuff like that, these, or the auto industries. These things are collapsing into failure. Capitalism has failed. The free market has failed. I don't think so. I think that these are all prime examples of the free market working perfectly. I think that the free market will punish bad behavior and reward good behavior. These institutions don't have an intrinsic right to exist. The individuals within these institutions, they have the right to try. They have the freedom to try, but that is all that is guaranteed to them. These institutions in and of themselves, they don't deserve to exist. Now, you can take a look at the people who are having a rough time of it because they've invested with them. And I'm like, well, what about these guys? They don't deserve to have their money disappear, their life savings vanish, their retirement accounts go up in smoke. And I feel just as much compassion for them as for myself. My retirement account cut in half. It wasn't a gigantic sum of money to begin with, but I do have a retirement account, and it's worth half of what it was 4 years ago. So I'm in the same boat, really. So I'm not just saying, you shouldn't have been in whatever you were in, you'd still have your money. I shouldn't have been in whatever I was in, because I'd still have my money. But I don't. But that's the free market, working perfectly. These institutions have made some really bad decisions. They've gone along with a lot of things from the federal government that were just plain stupid, and now they're paying the price for their actions. That's not capitalism failing. That's capitalism working brilliantly. It is capitalism asserting reality into your situation that you should have been established with in the first place. And that's why the free market is a beautiful thing. Because it will teach you. It will teach all of us. This is the way to do things right. You might want it to be differently. Maybe you're right when you say it should be different on a moral plane, or in an ideal world. Maybe things should be different. Well, people shouldn't make those kinds of mistakes. People shouldn't do the kinds of things that would lead to that kind of economic collapse and pure chaos, specifically because there are so many people dependent on it, for example. That's the nice thing about the free market. It's connected to truth, whereas idealism is not necessarily connected to truth. So if you feel a bunch of compassion for people, that's good. That's a good ideal. You want to attach that compassion of yours to reality. That's exactly what I want to do. That's what the conservative position is. Hey, help people. Do so responsibly. You give away all your money, well, that's fantastic. You've given away all your money, and what do you have to show for it? Maybe you helped the people that you gave it to. Maybe you didn't. Maybe they're just going to turn around and keep making the same mistakes that they were all along, and all you've done is shore up the process. All you've done is helped them continue to make the bad mistakes and hurt everybody that's getting dragged down with their negative practices. That's exactly what the bailouts have done, as far as I can tell. A lot of the banks haven't changed a lot of their policies. They're starting to. U.S. government certainly hasn't. gone farther and farther and farther into debt. We keep electing people that perpetuate that sort of thing. It's not a sustainable process. Like I said, you have to attach your wishes and your desires for philanthropy to reality. Reality is, apparently the government isn't good at much of anything. Whether it be, running banks or whatever, different social programs. Not that it doesn't do anything well, I suppose, but you don't have to go very far to find out that individual citizens making specific decisions in their own lives make much better decisions for themselves than some polity that is thousands of miles distant, for whom it is a statistical impossibility to even care about you. I guarantee you make better decisions for yourself than anyone in Washington ever will. So that's my 2 cents, or 4 cents, or 5 cents. Tell you what, I'll go 5 cents into debt to make this point for you, and I'll pay a ridiculous amount of interest on it, and I'll just make the minimum payments, and that way I will never get out of debt, and you will have this comment forever. I'll never get it back. But it's just a hit I'm willing to take, because that's my ideal, okay? I can just be in permanent comment debt to you. Enjoy.